it is what it is, Vlad, man. Like, hey, look, some people need to be gone, bro.
Something's wrong with him. That's not human, man. You're not regular, man.
If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself. One of Satan's greatest soldiers was King Vaughn.
Hello everybody, welcome to this emergency debriefing. Cause I'm gonna be honest right now, this was not planned. I genuinely did not think a lot of people would enjoy my previous creation and was already planning on another video. But when I was researching these absolute demons, I realized that everything needed to be put on hold because these monstrosity is our #1 priority right now. So, without further ado, segment 4. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive into segment 4, we're gonna need a bit of context. So, the very first time we ever found out about this woman was back during chapter 8. This was during the time that we didn't even know about the demons, the Seaborns, or the fake sky. We were still trying to treat rock cancer and fighting oppression. Honestly, to the people who don't read or even know about Arknights, you know exactly as much as I do during this time. We got a tower defense game with every character having some sort of animal traits. We are playing as the Doctor, who of course has amnesia. Okay, cool. But after this cat basically roasted the hell out of us, talking about how much she hates us for pretty much the equivalent of a Queen's Gambit. But as she was going on about how she gotta protect us because of a promise, giving us the sand speech, we get a momentary flashback. Loud sirens blaring as you run through the corridor of Rhodes Island. But then, as you enter the stone-cold machine, you get a sudden drowsiness. The effort to remember is futile until you hear her. Whoa, a human-looking woman holding my hands? She started talking about how she doesn't want to let us go. She doesn't want the possibility of never being with us again, and saying that our connection would transcend even time and space. Even if the ocean completely boils away and the atmosphere vanish, even if all... Bro, so you get the point. This woman cares for us a lot. She's gonna wait for us, and she hopes we will wait for her as well. The flashback ends and we remember her name, Priestess, which shocks Calzit. This was foreshadowing for what's about to come. This woman doesn't even make a cameo appearance until like chapter 14, literally right now in the NA server. Now before you get typing on your keyboards, this was during the time where I didn't read the events, okay? I know she made a cameo in Vigalo too. The plot is pretty complex here and I am going to skip over a lot while also trying my best to add context, so don't take everything I say at a face value. But during the release of chapter 15, this was when Hypergriff took their gloves off and revealed their entire hand. Since this video is about how bad it is to live in Arknights, I won't go over the Doctor's lore or the majority of the predecessor. But in chapter 14, after finding out that rock cancer isn't actually cancer, but an entire assimilated universe, we meet her again. This time, we get to converse a bit. It turns out that way back before Terra even became a planet with civilization on it, the Doctor and the Priestess used to travel the universe together. The Priestess described herself as a linguist. Now, you must be thinking the same thing I was. Oh, she's probably studying different species' language. No, she goes around to watch and study planets' death sounds. She states that we were close. Really close, which I presume is like the type 3 civilization equivalent of a married couple. Basically, during this hallucination, we pretty much tell her about our experience here on Terra and how we also care about Amiya and Calzit. But then she asks if we would like to join her again. We actually decline because we still got some people to save. And surprisingly, she actually respects our decision, stating that in the end, we will return to her side. So now that we got all the cameo and context out of the way, chapter 15 is not out at the moment, so the only way I could get my own input was through translation and reading multiple sources. Again, this is a major spoiler. This is what I believe to be the final arc of Arknights because everything that happens now is clearly pointing at Arknights Endfield. So without further ado, I present to you this special segment for Priestess, the Yandere from Hell. So this was the original Rhodes Island, a giant spaceship. Then we get to see that this guy is insanely smart because he somehow predicted the future, that we would be looking into our own memories and looks directly at us. Our past self wrote down the exact formula to rock cancer code, i.e. this man wrote down the admin code. We also were the one who made Kalsit, which explains to us why this cat is thousands of years old. But they still had to decipher it. So back outside, the AI managing Rhodes Island was acting up, started spawning in rock cancer monster, mind controlling people, and also put them in a genjutsu. But luckily Mantra performed an AoE cleanse on everyone, broadcast directly to them to gather, and we get this scene. The gang is gonna shut down this AI since it's being corrupted by... For some reason, Amiya, Kalsit, Monster, and the Doctor have been teleported to the front deck. It started to rain rock cancer, and a big pillar begins to form in the center. Then the entire sky opens up as she descends down from the heavens into the real world. And the first thing she said was, long time no see. You didn't wait for me again. But I am not angry, Doctor. And if you've ever heard your significant other say that, then you know she's super pissed off. She started talking about some ultimate dream and basically covering the entire world in rock cancer to save them. Then immediately blips the cancer storm away. She whispers to us, asking us to join her again. Apparently her presence is so comfortably amazing that it transcends memory loss. We were actually about to join her until Cal grabs us, silently pleading. We see that the priestess also had admin code because guess what? This was her project as well. At this moment in time, the Doctor was freaked out. He knows to never interact with a crazy woman and again rejects the priestess, telling her we are not destroying Terra. She's disappointed. Then she drops another insane reveal. Well, technically, we found this out already earlier, but yeah, just roll with it. We were the one who invented rock cancer. We were the one who made the Seaborns. We were the one who created the very gates the Collapso comes through. And do you know why? There is an even greater threat out there that destroyed even us. All of these projects are built so we can survive. So explain to me, why are you spending all of your times with these animals? Gosh, their petty squabbles are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Honking when the light just turned green, rage baiting on the internet, and worst of all, that pink demon wiped his memory of me. And while the priestess was giving her grand speech, Cal managed to trap priestess and melts her to death. Do we get her? Okay, are we done playing? You know what, Amma 10? That would have been a good plan if I didn't use that diversion. Your jokes are lame. Lame. How about another joke, Amma 10? What do you get when you cross a woman low on patience with a disobedient program who spent the last 400,000 days doing nothing but play with these silly little animals? I'll tell you what you get. You get deleted. This woman just blipped Kalsit out of existence and was about to take Monster with her so that she can remake Amma 10. And the only reason why we survived this encounter was because Amiya also had the admin code from the memory dive and used it to stop the rock cancer from deleting us. Then we order a full retreat as the priestess used the ship AI to try and kill all of his residents. But before escaping, priestess asks us one more question. Do you want to kill me? Now, you have to understand the Doctor's past to see why this decision is so vital. The Doctor, the one who co-designed rock cancer with priestess, the one who originally sacrificed everything in order to save the billions. But now he had a new perspective. The Doctor finally decides to stand with Terra and grants the order to kill her. Amiya uses all of her strength against the priestess, but she had the equivalent of Gojo's Limitless and was about to boom her, so Doctor had to carry her out on a retreat. They also managed to collect the cocoon with Monster in it. After that, she pretty much took the house as well because she basically kicked everyone off Rhodes Island and took control of it. The world is now on edge because there is a god-complex psychopath roaming around with zero disregard for the people, since she sees everyone that isn't a doctor as purely just an animal. Seeing their homes in ruins, a lot of operators begin to ask, what do we do now? What can we do now? Have we truly lost? No, Rhodes Island is not lost. We can always rebuild. We will prepare for the final confrontation. As long as the concept of hope exists, it will exist. With the knowledge I have now, Amiya, I realize that we can save more than just our home. We can save everyone and everything. Because I have a plan. But I got just one more world threat for you guys. Now, this segment isn't just any world ender. This next being is a multiversal threat. Now, we've been with Amiya throughout her entire journey. We've seen just how much she's grown from a child to the woman she is now. A leader that brings out the good in people. But what if you were never there for her? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you with our final segment, the Lord of the Fiends. Now, this version of Amiya was actually alluded to way back in chapter 7 when one of the main antagonists told us of a prophecy of destruction. The land covered in rock cancer, the black crown melting millions into nothing, the king of the Sarkaz enslaving all people everywhere. In this world, we have to go through IS-5, and again, this is not on global as of the making of this video, so all of the footage are from the Chinese server, but in order to even reach this ending, you have to go through one of the hardest boss battle I have ever seen. Amiya summons every single boss you have ever faced throughout your entire journey. During this time, she also corrupts the stage with the rock cancer. Oh, and she has 3 different phases. Just look at her. Then, once you beat her, she map wipes you. But sadly, this is one of the worst timelines for Amiya, because in this world, she is all alone. And man, before I show you this, I just want to say that I wish we could help this version of Amiya, because honestly, nothing hurts me more than seeing a child so utterly alone and hopeless. From the translation of her story, this version of Amiya was born without us, the doctor, in her life. This is the universe where Amiya rejects the ideal of Babel and went out to become her own doctor without the Black Crown. However, unlike her fate in Ending 2, where she saved as many people as she can before ultimately succumbing to the rock cancer, in this timeline, she saw the worst of it all and lost faith. The Sarkaz people waged too many wars to the point that it brought every nation together, causing the extinction of the entire race. But before that, Teresa transferred the Black Crown over to Amiya, allowing her to use its power for good. But instead of discovering Rhodes Island or continuing with her medical team, she instead went to one of the other precursors that turned himself into a robot named Friston. Now, Friston unlocked the full power of the crown for Amiya, and at this point, she gained admin control of the server. So she executes the equivalent of the Priestess plan and assimilated the entire world with rock cancer. She believes that it was the only way to stop wars and extinctions. Again, the combined force of every nation could not handle Amiya. But what's even crazier is, do you guys remember in my last video where I talked about the Seaborn adaptation and the collapsal corruption? Yeah, they don't matter because in this ending, she assimilated everything. Not just ending her universe, but her own reality. And then, the crazier part is, she got so immensely powerful that she became aware of the player. She was there to witness our struggle. She soon realized she was created, a fictional character. At first, she blames us. Why was she created to suffer in this endless void? When one story ends, another window opens up. She tries to attack us, but we were just barely out of reach. She tries again and again. After all, she had time and patience. She goes through multiple universes, ending them the same way she did her own, again and again, because she believes it's the only way to stop war. But over the infinite amount of time in darkness, she understood it wasn't our fault that she's like this. We too were observers, watching and going through the stories. She even makes a comment on how we sometimes even skip the stories. The most tragic thing is, though, she sees you, the doctor, always beside her in every alternative scenario. This reinforces her desire to interact with us. And on the final log, she was barely able to interact with you through the blank dialogue boxes. She understands that this is the limitation of the game, before ultimately accepting that she is fake, forever trapped in darkness, alone. I guess there's two perspectives to this. Yes, this universe is fake within the universe of Arknights. IS-5 is actually all just a made-up story, but that still doesn't sit well with me. I know I shouldn't really get emotional over a video game, but that's just how good the writing was. Yes, it's fictional. Yes, it won't literally affect me in real life. At least, I hope Amiya doesn't come to end us all. But still, isn't that what a good story should do? It should make us feel something, make us want to take up action, make us think. We still haven't seen all that is to come because the main story is only starting to reach its endpoint. The final battle deciding the fate of Terra and how it will lead to Endfield. But for now, all we can do is wait and see if Arknight will make its mark on history. Hypergriff, please let my baby girl be okay. I'll do anything. Let her be in Enfield. I don't know, open a portal and let her come through or something. Please. I'll even accept if she just sits around like the dragon bombs.